Good morning, everyone. This is Mary, and this is Yogalates. Find a place in your home where you can move comfortably. I am playing some very soft music in the background. If you have your own variety of music that you want to play, feel free to go ahead and do that. We're going to begin by standing. We're going to take our feet about as wide as our mat. We're going to take a nice big full breath. Exhale, release, and come on down. Nice big full breath. Exhale, reach, and exhale. Keep going. Each time maybe getting a little bit deeper, letting the arms just float, adding a little heat to the body. And then I'm going to ask you to pause and hold at the top, nice and tall. Draw those shoulders down. Release one arm down by your side. Let the shoulder just relax there. And then use your breath to reach tall. And as you exhale, gently bend in. Nice full breath here. Expand the body and lengthen. As you exhale, release and relax. And then taking that arm, bringing it back up next to its partner. Pausing for a moment, nice big full breath. Reach for the sky with the crown of your head and your fingertips. And as you exhale, bring the other arm down and let it rest gently by your side. As you exhale and reach, and dip into the other side. Nice full breaths. Continue to breathe. And on the next full breath, go ahead, bring yourself back to the top where you started. Take a moment. Rotate your palms to face away and think about lifting your chest, keeping your neck nice and neutral, teeniest, tiniest of back bends, just enough to open up the space in your heart for a moment. Draw that belly in and stay strong. Next breath, as you exhale, gently stand tall, and then release the arms out by your sides, reaching fingertips to fingertips, nice and long. Rotating at the shoulder, palms to the sky. Adding a little bit of softness to our knees. We're going to move a little bit more to warm the body. So here I'm going to ask you to just step in, tap, tap, side to side. Keep them coming. Nicely done. Let's do 4 more. 4, 3. We're going to do 2 more. We're going to keep the feet, but we're going to change the arms to reach across the body. Kind of like this. Palms down. Nice. Just nice and easy. Add a little warmth. We're going to keep those going. 4, 3. We got 2 more. But then I'm going to ask you to make this a little bit deeper. Bend those knees a little more and release your heel so that you can get a little deeper rotation. Warming up that back, side to side. We'll go 4, 3, 2. Keep the feet, but change the arms. And push, push, push. Through the back. Nice. Tummy tight. Keep them coming. Keep going. You got 4, 3, 2. This time, your feet are going to stay grounded. You're going to just slide and glide, side to side. Open up those hips. Feel the length. Continue to breathe. I will cue breathing just to remind you to breathe. But as long as you're breathing mindfully, you're good. Let's go 4, 3, 2. Last set, I'm going to ask you to stop and slide in. Reach that arm up. Nice full breath. Now you can stay here supported or unsupported. It's your choice. Nice full breath. I'm going to ask you now to rotate gently, reaching away. And then taking your next breath, nice big circles. 3 or 4 of these. Let's do 3 more. 2 more, and 1 more, or if you want another one, go for it, and then pause where we started. Nice full breath. As we exhale, we're going to switch to the other side. Drop in, supported, unsupported. Really lengthen from the tips of your toes all the way to the tips of your fingers. Nice full breath. As you exhale, a little rotation and reach like you're going to shake someone's hand. Tummy tight. Back is strong. Nice big circles. Sweep around. Let's do 3 or 4. We're going to do 2 more. And again, if you're loving this and you want to do another one, go for it. And we're going to pause and hold. Nicely done. Exhale, come back to your center. I'm going to ask you to reach the arms up. Add some softness to those knees. And then I'm going to ask you to pull your elbows down and back, squeezing those shoulder blades, opening the chest, bringing some heat into the back here. Keep coming. We got 4. That'll be our magic number today. 3, 2. This is our last one. We're going to hold. I'm going to ask you to bring those hands down to those thighs. Roll the shoulders back. Draw the belly in. And then allow yourself to gently hinge at the hip, dropping down, flat back. Gaze is neutral. Nice full breath. Drop one shoulder down towards the earth. Just gently, don't force it. And as you exhale, bring that shoulder back. And then drop the other shoulder down towards the earth. Again, gently, not forcing anything. And as you exhale, bring that shoulder back. Walk your feet in just a little bit so that they're a little closer to about the width of your mat. Keep that back flat. And then as you exhale, round it. A little up cat, flatten down, down cat, standing. Just to warm up the back a little bit more. Nicely done. Let's do 4 more. There's 4, because I said our magic number's 4, right? 3, 2, exhale, inhale. Last one. Awesome. I'm going to ask you to gently go ahead and allow yourself to drop into a forward fold. Dropping head, neck, and shoulders towards the earth. If you like ragdoll and you want to hold on to your elbows and give it a little sway, feel free to do that as well. Nice full breaths. Keep breathing. And with your next breath, let's go ahead, hang for a moment, and soften those knees. Allow yourself to gently roll all the way up, one little vertebra at a time, until you find yourself tall and standing. Next, I'm going to invite you to take one leg and step forward. And it doesn't matter which foot you choose. I'm going to choose my right foot to step forward. And then I'm going to take my left foot and step back. All my toes are in the same direction right now. I'm going to back up a little bit, make sure I'm in the video. And then I'm going to ask you to go ahead and start to bend those knees and drop into almost a little lunge here. And take your back foot and give it a little spin on the ball of your foot. And find a place where you can rest that heel. Your foot might be parallel with your mat, or it might be not quite so. That's okay. Every one of us has different knees and different hips, so I want you to find the comfortable place for you. Make sure your knee is comfortable and it's not feeling torqued or twisted. Turn those hips so that they're square. And allow yourself to gently settle in wherever it feels comfortably challenged, right? Nice full breath, and then bring those arms up. If it looks like a warrior, it probably is, right? But be mindful that your knee is over your ankle and behind your toes. Nice full breaths here. Allow yourself a moment to just settle into this warrior. Stand your ground. Nice and tall, nice and strong. Couple more breaths here. Just breathe in through the nose. Hold for a moment at the top. Exhale and settle. One more round of breath. Exhale and settle. I'm now going to ask you to take those arms that are in the air and open them up by your side, a little swan dive, so that you can float gently down to find the mat. Once you found your mat, I'm going to ask you to go ahead and take your back foot and step it back a little bit longer. Notice where your ribs are if they're sitting on your thigh. Try to slide them just inside of your thigh. Now you can stay here in this long runner's lunge with your knee up, shoulders pressed down and back. If you're not comfortable here, feel free to drop down to the knee. Maybe roll up your mat or use a little towel if you need some cushion. I'm going to ask you to take the same arm as your bent leg and extend it. Scoop that belly in, and then on the exhalation, take a nice rotation here, reaching up. Nice full breath, maybe looking up, looking out, looking down, whatever's working for you today. And as you exhale, go ahead, bring your hands back down to the mat. Nice full breath here. And from here, I am going to ask you to go ahead and drop down to your knee. Take one hand to thigh, two hands to the thigh. Come up tall. Draw a nice full breath and reach for the sky. So we have our kneeling warrior here. Draw those shoulders down. Exhale. And then release. Bring those hands back down to the mat. Tuck your toes. Come back up to your long runner's lunge. And go ahead and take that back leg. Either step it in or hop it in. Whatever it takes to get those feet side by side. Hanging forward fold for just a moment. Draw a nice breath and rise all the way back up again. Exhale. Hold strong. Now we're going to switch. So I'm going to ask you to take the other foot forward. For me, it's my left. My right foot's going to come back. All my toes are in the same direction. My heel is lifted. Tummy is tight. Shoulders are down. I'm going to start to bend my knees to drop down to my lunge. And then I'm going to take a little spin on my back foot until I can find a place where I can rest it on my mat. As I start to settle into this posture, I'm taking notice, making sure nothing is feeling uncomfortable. Little challenge is okay, right? We need a little change in order to make some change, but we don't want to hurt ourselves. Keep those hips nice and square, and then draw those arms up. Find the warrior on this side. Draw those shoulders down. Settle in. Remember, you can always adjust. You're never committed to a posture. Nice full breaths here. Magic number was 4, right? I know you all are keeping me honest at home. Nice full breath. Exhale. If you can keep the breathing through the nose, inhaling and exhaling, great, but if you need your mouth, that's okay too. One more nice full round of breath. Exhaling. On the next breath, as we grow tall and you exhale, go ahead, swan dive. Let those hands come back down. Find the mat, one hand on either side of your foot. Turn all those toes in the same direction and drop down to that long runner's lunge. Noticing your ribs if they're on your thigh. Slide them just to the inside. And if you're more comfortable coming to your knee, feel free to do so at any time. Just let your heel float back if you're in the long runner's lunge. And then take the arm, same side as your bent leg. Extend that long, like you're just reaching for something. You can't quite get to it. And then on the next breath, as we exhale, we're going to rotate and look right up or out or down, wherever your neck is comfortable. Your body chooses. Continue to breathe. Nice full breaths. Exhaling fully and completely. One more nice full round of breath. And on the next breath, let's go ahead and bring that hand down. Find ourselves back at the mat here. Nice and long. And let's go ahead and drop down to the knee. So our kneeling warrior. Bring one hand to thigh. Two hands to the thighs. Sink in and hold. Release and bring those arms up nice and tall. Nice full breath. But here this time I'm going to ask you to bring those hands together, maybe interlace. Bring them down in front. Open up the back. Nice full breath. And on the exhalation, reach behind. Maybe interlace your fingers and open the chest. Nice. And on the next breath, release that. Bring the arms back up. Exhale, and bring your hands back down to your mat. I'm going to ask you to come back up to your long runner's lunge. And this time, I'm going to ask you to take your front foot and step it back, finding yourself in a plank. If plank is not comfortable for you, feel free to come down to your knees and be in a table or a kneeling plank, whatever's working well for you today. So the next few movements that we're going to do, we're going to execute from the down-facing dog. If you're not comfortable with dog, come to table. Everything I do from dog, you can do from table. So when you are ready, I'm going to ask you to go ahead and move into either your table or your downward-facing dog. So to come into dog, we're going to hoist those hips up to the sky. We're going to take those feet and find perfect placement for our bodies. Might be about hip width, might be slightly narrower, slightly wider. Scoop that belly in, hoist those hips to the sky, push the mat away, keeping that neck nice and neutral. I am going to ask you to go ahead and shift your weight to one side. I'm going to shift my weight to the left. And then I'm going to free up my right leg. And I'm going to extend that leg nice and long. Now you might be way up high or you might be lower. Whatever serves you today is the right place. Notice though, if you're starting to twist, we're not going to do that just yet. So try to keep those hips nice and parallel with the earth. We're just going to gently tap the earth with our foot. So all I'm going to ask you to do is come down and tap and lift, keeping that core strong, staying stable. Keep breathing. Keep them coming. 4 more. There's 4, 3, 2. This is our last tap, but you're going to bring that leg back up. Hold. Flex your foot for me, and then bend at the knee if you can. And try to lift and open. Here's that little twist in your dog. And make sure you're still pushing the earth away. Looking right underneath your armpit here. Nice full breaths. Exhaling when you're ready. On your next breath, I'm going to invite you to unwrap this twisted dog. Come back to your 3-legged dog. Gentle point in your toe. We're moving again. This time we're coming up the middle and pushing away. Up the middle and pushing away. Keep these coming. And again, might be big, it might be small. Whatever serves you today, that's where you want to be. Keep breathing. We're going to do 4 more. There's 4. There's 3. There's 2. And here's our last one. I'm going to have you bring this up the middle. Now I'm going to give you an option. You can either come right down onto your shin, slide back, and find yourself in a pigeon-like posture. Or you can bring that leg through so that your ankle is just about lined up behind your wrist and drop into your pigeon much more deeply. Your choice. Whichever one you've chosen. Walk yourself up. Hold strong, chest tall. Nice full breaths. When you are ready, walk your hands. Let your fingers do some walking. Walk out to wherever you're comfortable. Might be to here and you say, I'm good, I'm going to stay right here. That's fine. Perhaps you can walk out a little deeper. Find your forearms. Perhaps you want to get even deeper. Crossing one hand over the other, and then gently allowing your forehead to rest gently on top of your hands. Nice full breaths here, breathing into all of those spaces that are tight and resisting this. And as you exhale, try to let them relax. Continue to breathe, taking full deep breaths in, holding for a moment, and then exhaling to release. We're going to go for 2 more rounds. Okay, that makes up our magic 4. Nice full breath in, but I want you to be aware that if you're breathing differently, that's fine. I'm cueing the breathing just to make sure that you are indeed breathing. Which I know sounds funny, right? Of course I'm breathing, but I want you to breathe mindfully and fully. Exhaling when you're ready. I'm going to now ask you to take whatever resting posture you've chosen and unwrap it. Allow yourself to help yourself back up. We're going to stay here for a moment, and I'm going to let you kind of settle down on your tush here. Your back leg is nice and long, but I'm going to ask you to bend it. I'm going to change my position in a moment. So for those of you who know where I'm going, you're going to bend the back leg and bend the front leg like a Z sit. I'm going to ask you then to take the same arm as your front leg, place it by your side. Take the other arm and reach out to your side. And then I'm going to ask you to start to lift and open and take this beautiful stretch. So you all stay there, continue to breathe. I'm going to spin myself around so you can see better. Front leg bent, back leg bent. Same arm as my front leg, out to my side, opposite arm, open, and then lifting. Opening up that hip. Breathing into it. Now we've already given it that nice long stretch. Now we're going to open it up. Nice full breaths. Only a couple more. That's it. Exhaling when you're ready. Just one more. That's it. That's all I'm asking. I know, I keep asking, don't I? Exhale, come back down. So you're in your nice little Z sit. I'm going to come face front with you once again here. I am going to ask you to go ahead, raise those arms, and as you exhale, let them come back down. Find your mat. Here we're going to unwrap this whole mess. So to do that, I'm going to have you bring that front leg in a little closer and allow yourself to roll right onto that shin. Take that back leg, tuck those toes. So again, I'm going to turn so you can see better. So I've gone from here to here. Toes are tucked. I am on my little shin here. And then I'm going to let my foot step in a little bit, okay? Little softness in the knee, make sure you can move. Again, don't lock any joints. And when you're ready, we're going to take that lift that brought us to our pigeon and then take that leg back and find ourselves once again in our downward facing dog. Letting our heels float towards the mat. Nice full breaths. Exhaling. And we're going to do that same series on the other side. So you can adjust, right? We've moved around. So find just the right downward facing dog. I know I'm off my mat, but that's okay. I'm going to stay here for a moment because I'm thinking you might be able to see better. So go ahead, find yourself in your nice down facing dog. Shift your weight to the opposite side. So this time I'm going to shift to my right. Freeing up my left leg so that I can extend it and find that three-legged dog. Letting my heel float to the earth, letting my hands push the earth away, hoisting my hips. A nice gentle point to my toe. I'm just going to get that hip nice and warm by gently dropping towards the earth and then picking it up. So keeping this going, we did about 10 on the other side, so we want to make sure we're pretty even. We're going to do about 10 over here. So keep that going. Keep breathing. Do not hold your breath. I'll keep counting if you keep breathing. 4 more. There's 4. There's 3. There's 2. Here's our last one. And we're going to hold that leg in the sky here. Flex your foot. Bend at the knee. And then start to open up with a little twist, looking under your armpit. pushing away, trying not to collapse. Stay strong in the posture. Nice full breaths. Exhaling when you're ready. Continuing to breathe. Yes, I'm making you hold this for a little bit. It's great getting there, but then we want to stay there and enjoy it for a couple of breaths. Exhale. One more round of breath here. That's it. Exhale. Unwrap and come back to your three-legged dog. Once you're there, I want you to keep a soft point in that toe that's in the air so that we can gently come through the middle and push it away. Are you getting warm? You getting some heat in there? Yes? Push it through the middle. Take it away. Through the middle. Take it away and keep them coming. Yes, I'm counting. We made it to the last 4. Here's 4, 3, 2, and here's our last one, the one that hovers. I'm going to ask you to bring down to the mat and slide back to your pigeon. And remembering that if you desire, you can walk that front leg open a little bit more so that your ankle's behind the wrist to get a deeper stretch. And that's all a matter of preference. You can stay on your shin or you can go for the deeper posture. It's your choice. Once here, you can keep your toes tucked or you can let the top of your toes rest on your floor mat. I'm going to ask you to walk yourself up tall and then let your fingers do the walking. Walking out to a restful pigeon. Maybe you stop partway. Maybe you use a pillow if you have a pillow or a block at home. Maybe you come down to your forearms. And maybe, just maybe, you cross your hands one over the other and let your forehead gently rest right down on top. Nice full breaths. You're going to rest. I'm not going to rest because if I put my head down, you won't be able to hear me. So continue to breathe. 4 breaths, remember? So we only have a few more left. Nice full breaths in. Exhaling completely and fully to a restful position. 2 more breaths. Exhaling when you're ready. And it doesn't matter if you're doing more or less breaths, that's a-okay. This is our final breath. And on the next breath that you take, allow yourself to start to float up. Let your hands support you, coming back up, nice and tall. Now here, this is where I said I'd allow you to come and sit down on your hip a little bit, keeping your front foot bent, and now taking your back leg and bending it. So you look like a little Z. And we're going to take the same arm as your front leg, bring it out to your side. It's your kickstand. It's going to support you. And then take the opposite arm out by your side, palm to sky, and start to lift into this stretch. And you can lift as much or as little as you like. Nice full breaths here. We're going to use our magic number 4. Now if you're doing a few more or a few less, that's a-okay. 3 more breaths. And I'm holding that breath for just a moment, exhaling. 2 more rounds of breath. So I'm trying to inhale for about 4 counts, hold for a moment, exhale fully for about 5 counts, allowing the body to relax. 1 more round of breath. Exhaling fully and completely when you're ready. Allow yourself to come back down. And again, I'm going to spin around just so you can see better. Place our hands. Let's take our hands up. And then we'll exhale, place our hands on the mat just because it flows nicely. We're going to come back and roll onto that shin. Tuck those back toes. And when we're ready, we're going to support ourselves back up. Take our foot back. Find our downward facing dog. Nice full breaths. Exhale. And then I'm going to invite you to go ahead and come on down to your knees, just like you're on a nice little table. Take those knees and turn them out nice and wide. Let your big toes come to touch. And then draw your bottom back, floating back into child. Reaching those arms out nice and long because you did a lot of work and you deserve a moment to refresh and restore. So here, again, I'm not going to put my head down because you won't be able to hear me. But go ahead, close your eyes, soften your gaze. Let your forehead rest gently on the mat, maybe your cheek. And just take a few moments just to breathe and enjoy the fruit of all your work that you just did. We are not done. We are going to continue on. But if anyone does have to go, this is maybe a good halfway mark. We will practice for about maybe another, just shy of 20 minutes or so, 25 minutes. So it's a good spot if you need to leave and come back. On the next breath that you take, I am going to invite you to gently come back up. Find yourself in a nice little table, hands and knees. And again, I am going to turn myself so that you can see better. As you come into your table, your wrists, your shoulder, and your elbows should all be nicely aligned. Your fingers should be wide, but not splayed, and your thumbs face each other. Your hip and knee should be nicely aligned. I'm going to walk back. It feels like I'm a little bit too tight to the frame. Keeping your neck nice and long. Scooping the belly. We did a lot of leg and hip work just now. So let's kind of look at our shoulders and give them a little TLC. I am going to ask you to go ahead and take a nice full breath. And as you exhale, draw your back up to the sky. Nice little cat stretch. Inhale, come back down. And here I'm going to ask you to follow your own breath. Just as you exhale, roll your back up, and as you inhale, come back down. Nice and fluid, allowing the back and the spine to just gently flow. We don't do a lot of fluid flowing movements through our day. So this is a nice little exercise for your back and your spine. Just let it roll and gently come back. We're going to do 4 more. Rolling up, flattening down. And if you want to add a little tip to the tailbone, feel free to do that if it's in your practice. If it's not, you don't have to, certainly. It's all about what feels good. I kind of lost track because I started talking. I'm going to guess, I think this is our last one. We're going to hold right here. Keep that tummy tucked, even though we're in this nice little table and your belly would love to just relax. Don't let it do that. Shift your weight to one side. I'm going to shift to the left and extend my right arm. And I'm going to really reach so that I'm extending and lengthening as if there's something just beyond my fingers that I can't quite get. And then I'm going to take a nice full breath and reach for the sky. With the next breath, I'm going to try to reach up a little higher, stacking my shoulders. And maybe even a little higher, because you can. And then with your next breath, you're going to reach even higher, but as you exhale, come down, thread the needle, and allow yourself to gently float into a nice shoulder stretch, allowing the shoulder to rest on the mat, allowing your cheek to rest gently on the mat. Once you're here, you've got this free hand, the one that's just been kind of supporting you, but it really doesn't have any work to do right now. So again, I'm going to turn so you can see better. So I've got this hand here, it's kind of free. And if I want to, and the spirit moves me, I might choose to reach that hand to the sky. When doing so, my thumb will be facing forward, and I've got a nice little stretch in the other shoulder. Now, if I like to, I could rotate at the shoulder so my thumb faces back towards my feet. And if I want to add a bind to this posture, I might come down and find my hand on my hip. roll that shoulder back and say, oh, that feels great, I'm going to stay right here. But some of us might want a little more. Maybe we might want to take that hand and take the back of your hand to the small of your back. Or maybe you want to go all the way around to the other hip and roll that shoulder back. Here's our magic number 4. Whatever you've chosen, whether it's a bind or no bind at all. Nice full breaths, breathing into the spaces that are tight and resisting, and exhaling and letting go of that tension. Just a few more breaths here. Exhaling fully when you're ready. Nice full breath in. Exhaling. One more nice full breath. Exhaling fully, relaxing. And with the next breath, whether you've chosen a bind or not, release that hand and bring it back down by your side and allow yourself to float gently up and out of the posture. Coming back to your table, maybe wag your tail, move things around a little bit, and get ready to do the same thing on the other side. So just check in for a moment. Make sure you've got nice alignment, wrist, elbow, shoulder, fingers wide, knees under hips. Shift your weight now to the other side and release the opposite arm. For me, it's my left. And then we're going to really reach and lengthen. So it gets that length across your shoulders there on the top of your back. And then with the next breath, we're going to rotate and reach for the sky. Stack those shoulders. And then maybe take a breath and see if you can't reach a little higher. And I guarantee you, if you take another breath, you can probably reach even higher. In our next breath, we're going to reach, and then as we exhale, we're going to float down, thread the needle, and drop into that nice gentle shoulder stretch, resting our cheek or our forehead to the mat. Noticing that we have a free hand, and if we want to, we can add a bind, and if we don't, we can just stay right here or just let it chill out. Whatever feels good. If we're choosing to bind with that free arm, we might bring it up to the sky and just hold it up here with our thumb facing forward. We might decide to rotate at the shoulder and let that thumb face back, and maybe that's a good spot. Or maybe we come down and take a bind at your hip, the small of your back, or the opposite hip, and really roll that shoulder back. Nice full breaths. Magic number 4. Just a few more rounds, nice full breaths. Two more rounds. Exhaling. One more round. Exhaling. With the next breath, unwrap any bind you've chosen, or if you didn't choose one, that's okay too. And come and unwrap yourself back to our nice little table. Maybe wag your tail a little bit. And when you're ready, I'm going to ask you to go ahead and just gently walk your hands in towards your knees. And take your feet, one foot to the mat, second foot to the mat. Nice soft knees. And here I'm going to ask you to go ahead and take a nice big full breath and rise yourself up nice and tall. Exhale, release. And I'm going to ask you to step more towards the front of your mat. I'm going to stay back here just so you can see my feet better. I'm going to do a little bit of balancing. So if you have a carpeted floor, this could be a little challenging. If you have a hard floor, it might be more comfortable to step off of your mat and onto that hard surface. If you have a very thick mat, same is true, you may want to step off. If your mat's fairly thin, you might be okay standing on it. You just don't want too much squish because it can make things a little harder when it comes to balance. We won't do a lot, So if you do have a carpeted floor and it's making it a little more challenging, we won't be here too long, don't worry. We're going to draw those shoulders back. And I'm going to ask you to take one foot, it doesn't matter which one, I'm going to use my right. And I'm going to draw my toes right next to the inside of my foot and lift my heel. Drawing my belly in and tucking my tailbone under, drawing my shoulders down. This is your level 1, and you can stay right here, okay? You've got to use some balance and some core strength here. If you want to take this a little deeper, you might start to bring that leg up. Maybe see if you can't get it hip height. I don't care that it doesn't need to be resting near your leg, and it shouldn't be resting ever on your knee, never ever. If you really want to bring it up, it's got to be above or below if you want to touch your supporting leg. Oh, see, that was a bad move for me. I do want it to have enough mobility because we're not going to stay here long. We're going to keep that knee up. I'm going to ask you to open it up. So we got those hips nice and warm, right, in the first part of the segment. So opening this up should feel good. I'm then going to ask you to take the same arm as your open leg and reach it in front. And then I'm going to ask you to take that back leg and bring it back, almost like dancer. Yes. Now your supporting leg, add a little softness to that knee. You don't want to lock that joint. And then we're going to have you bring both arms forward and maybe extend the leg. Now you could stay here, you could go here, or to really challenge, bring it back. We're going to hold for 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then bring that leg back down next to its partner. Take a moment, reach, reset, lift all your toes, and then place them back down into the floor of the mat. Set your foundation. Shift your weight to the other side. Again, we start with our little tiny posture here. Just the heel lifted, toes right close into our foot, shoulders down, tall. And then when you are ready, bringing that leg up higher. It doesn't have to come as high as your hip. If it can, great. Hold. Just breathe. Couple more breaths. That's it. And when you're ready, we're going to go ahead and open it up to the side. Feel that openness. Feel that strength. Maybe a little softness added to the supporting knee so you're not locking that joint. Same hand as your open leg. Reach forward just so it's out of the way. Really. Take that back leg, lift. Attitude basically. And then extend the leg. Bring both arms forward. Ooh, watch me fall. Hold. Lengthen. Maybe arms go out here. Maybe arms go back here. And it's okay if you fall, right? If you kind of lose your balance and you have to regroup. That's all right. Nice full breaths. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. We'll bring that leg down next to its companion. Take a moment, maybe just roll things out, shake things out. We are going to come down onto your mat. So I'm going to ask you again to step to the front of your mat and take your feet about as wide as your mat maybe. And this one's hard in terms of where your foot placement should be because we're going to come into yoga sit to come down to the floor. So you might find that you need to adjust your legs a little wider or a little more narrow, just depending on your body. So I'm going to ask you to start with your feet maybe about as wide as your mat and turn out just slightly, all right? So not toes forward and not way out like a second position ballet, somewhere in the middle, maybe probably not even a 45-degree angle, okay, probably a little less. So if you were looking at a clock, let's say maybe at like 2 o'clock. So we're going to turn those knees out, make sure they're aligned over our toes. Draw the belly in. I'm going to ask you to bring these arms up and then draw them together in prayer right at your heart center. opening up, squeezing back on those shoulder blades, elbows out nice and wide. I'm going to ask you to slide down like you're sliding down a wall. So you're going to start to come down into this yoga sit. Try to keep your tummy tucked and your tailbone under until you can come all the way down, hopefully kind of settle your arms right to the inside of your legs and hold here for just a moment. You won't stay long, I promise. This is a tough posture. And if you need to, you might get down like I need to step out a little more. I was too narrow, so I had to open up a little more. Awesome. And just hold for 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're going to bring one hand to the front, one hand to the back, and allow ourselves to come and sit. So I am going to spin myself around again because I want to make sure I'm staying in the view. And I'm going to ask you to go ahead and sit tall, scoop that belly, and step those feet out a little bit. Reach the arms out in front of you. And we're going to just gently roll back about halfway. Now here, if you find this uncomfortable for your back, I want you to go ahead and maybe add a little ball or add a pillow if you have a pillow nearby or a towel. Nice and strong. And then I'm going to ask you to add, if you desire, the arms. You're going to open and reach. Open and reach. And open and reach. And open and reach. We're going to do 4 more right here. You've got 4, 3, 2, and last one. Now this one we're going to roll all the way down. One little vertebra at a time, scooping the belly, slowly rolling until you come all the way down to the mat, bringing your hands right by your side, and then taking your feet and stepping them in. Finding a nice comfortable place here, bringing one leg up, bringing 2 legs up, scooping the belly, and then go ahead and bring those arms right by your side, peeling up, keeping your gaze eyes to thighs. Nice little space between your chin and your throat so that you have a nice open throat and you can breathe freely. We're going to do the 100, so we're going to start breathing. In, 2, 3, 4, 5, pumping the arms. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5. Keep breathing. Inhale. Exhale for 5 counts. Continue to breathe. Inhale. Exhale. Continue to breathe. I'm sorry, somebody walked in my house. Oh no, and we're almost done. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale. And just hold. Nice full breaths. Go ahead, extend those legs. Reach the arms. I know this is a challenge. I'm going to ask you to open and reach and open and reach and open and reach. We're almost done. Hang in there. Please cross your fingers for me. It's got to stay quiet. Reach and reach. Let's go for 5, 4, 3, 2 more, 2, and 1. I'm going to have you hold here. Hold, hold, hold. Go ahead, bring those knees down and bring those hands to your temples. Open that chest, and we're going to crisscross. Shoulder towards the knee. Let's keep these going. Strong, not super fast, not super slow, somewhere in the middle. Create a little heat. Keep those abs moving. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. We're almost to that magic number. Hang in there. Breathe. Let's go for 4 sets, 3 sets, 2 sets, and last one. Go ahead and let your head roll down. Open up those arms, extend those legs. Let's go ahead and make some little circles here. We're going to drop our legs to the front, sweep around, and come up around the other side. Dropping to the front, sweeping around, keeping your back imprinted, keeping your tummy tight. Sweep around, drop and sweep around, drop and sweep around. Keep going. Pause, and now reverse. Drop and sweep around. We're almost done, I promise. Drop and sweep around. Just 4 more. Drop and sweep around. 3, 2, and 1. Awesome job, folks. Let's go ahead and bring those knees down. Go ahead and give yourself a little hug. Bring that in. Maybe roll side to side, forward and back, whatever feels good. A little massage on the back here. And when you're ready, I'm going to ask you to keep one knee in long and take one leg long. Sorry about that. Knee in tight, one leg long. Let that long leg rest on the earth. Holding on to that shin, really give it a nice stretch here. Taking the hand opposite of that bent leg. Holding on to the shin and then taking the arm on the same side as your bent leg, opening it up, letting your shoulder rest on the earth, and then dropping that knee across, allowing yourself to gently roll into a little stretch here. Nice full breaths. Keep that connection so that you keep the stretch. Next full breath. We're making them kind of short, folks, because I got to wrap. So take these as long as you need to. Come back to center. Switch. And I want you, of course, to do more stretching if you need it. Extend the other leg. Again, we've got opposite arm or opposite hand holding onto that shin. Arm on the same side as that bent leg. We're going to drop it over. All right, folks, I'm trying to wrap. Nice full breaths. Exhale, release, come on back. Take a nice long stretch. Oh my, sorry for the noise. And when you're ready, I'm going to ask you to go ahead and bend those knees. Roll yourself over. Gently come on up. Take a nice seated position and draw a nice full breath in. Exhale. And you are done. Folks, thanks for joining me for class. And I hope you have a great day. I hope you stay healthy and well. And I look forward to seeing you. Bye.